Hello, I am Donald Trump, and there is a growing concern about the knowledge of the respiratory system. Alright, to begin, the parts of the upper respiratory tract are the mouth, nose, and nasal cavity, the pharynx, and the larynx. The mouth and nose and nasal cavity allow airflow to get into the system. The pharynx is where the throat divides into the trachea and esophagus. The larynx is known as the voice box, obviously where sound is generated. The parts of the lower respiratory tract are the trachea, which is the windpipe, the bronchi, which is where the trachea divides into two tubes. They're called the bronchi, one entering the left and one entering the right lung. The left is narrower and stronger, more horizontal than the right. Irregular rings of cartilage surround the bronchi, whose walls also consist of smooth muscle. Once inside the lung, the bronchi split several ways, forming tertiary bronchi. Bronchioles. Tertiary bronchi continue to divide and become bronchioles, which are very narrow tubes, less than 1 millimeter in diameter. There's no cartilage within the bronchioles because they lead to alveolar sacs, alveoli. Individual hollow cavities contained within alveolar sacs. Alveoli have very thin walls which permit the exchange of gases. The diaphragm is a broad band of muscle which sits underneath the lungs, attaching to the lower ribs, sternum, and lumbar spine, forming the base of the thoracic cavity. External respiration is the exchange of gases between the environment and the body, which is called external respiration or gas-ish exchange. Internal respiration, the exchange of gases between the body, spaces, or fluids in the cells is called internal respiration or tissue respiration. The area over which the exchange takes place is called the respiratory surface. Cellular respiration is the third type of respiration and takes place within the cells of an organism. Thus, because of this, it is called cellular respiration. Gas exchange takes place in this, and sorry, I'm getting old. Okay. Also, it also takes place between the capillaries and the alveoli sacs. Specifically, the pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs in order to refill the blood with oxygen in exchange for carbon dioxide. Respiratory function. Your respiratory system takes in oxygen from the atmosphere to move that oxygen into the bloodstream by allowing it to move across the membranes of the lungs and into the blood vessels. The circulatory system then carries oxygen to all the cells in the body and picks up carbon dioxide waste, which it returns to the lungs. Carbon dioxide diffuses from the blood into the lungs, and you exhale it into the atmosphere. Digestive dependence upon respiration. Digestive tract is dependent upon the respiratory system because your digestive tract functions by using muscular contractions to break up food, move it along the tracts. Smooth muscles in the stomach makes food into liquid, and contractions into the intestine move food through the system, forming turd. Okay, the respiratory system also depends upon your digestion. Similarly, your respiratory tract wouldn't be able to function without the product of digestion. While the process of exhalation is passive and doesn't require muscular contraction, contract the respiratory muscles, including the diaphragm and intercostal muscles, to inhale. Muscles need fuel in order to contract, and the fuel they use is primarily in the form of carbohydrates and fats. The efforts of the digestive tract provide the cells of the respiratory muscles with food. Cellular dependence upon both systems. Body cells are dependent upon the products of both the respiratory and digestive systems' functions in order to maintain themselves. To produce energy, cells burn nutrients, molecules, fuel, and oxygen. The digestive tract provides the nutrient molecules through the process of digestion, while the respiratory tract provides oxygen. As such, the two systems work together to give your cells the ingredients they need to produce energy, which they use to communicate, build cellular products, and grow. Negative factors to the respiratory system can be smoking or air pollution. This is probably all you will ever need to know about the respiratory system, and it is very important to keep your respiratory system healthy. One last thing, Mrs. Gummerlock, I did not OD on vitamin C, I hope.